she was not out on the street. It was not about what she was wearing. It was not about where she was or who she was with or what she was doing. This young girl went to work, came home, and she was in her bedroom. There is absolutely no dignity left for women in our cities.
It is men and boys who have to change. It is the people who, they have to be arrested. They have to be put behind the bar.
Unfortunately, Faye, the crime against women is not the topmost priority of many of the investigating agencies, and I dare say that of the Mumbai police.
As a woman, it is inconvenient that every time I step out of my house, I have to account for who's going to touch me, who's going to molest me, who's going to stare at me, who's going to heckle me, that homes are not safe, that cases of child sexual abuse are at an all-time high in India, that underreporting of sexual offences is a huge offence.
हर टाइम अगर किसी का रेप होता है तो क्यों लड़की को ही ब्लेम किया जाता है हर टाइम कि लड़की की गलती है, लड़की छोटे कपड़े पहनती है, लड़की बाहर जाती है, रात को नाइट आउट करती है, क्यों?
When a woman comes to register a complaint, they must immediately register a complaint. Don't counsel the women. They are supposed to lodge complaints, not become counselors.
Hitesh Jain, I'm providing you with this platform right now to please communicate with the citizens of the state on the steps being taken by the government.
Through your channels or the people who are like the young girls like Krisha or Ranjana Kumari ji, they can come that these are the steps we want within the 72 hours, and I can assure you on behalf of the government, we will take this issue with the police department and ensure such steps will be taken.
We need action right now. We need fast track courts to actually be fast track courts. We need policemen and doctors and hospitals that will take this crime seriously.
Are you watching The Urban Debate? Only on Magic Bricks Now.
Hello and welcome to the news on Magic Bricks Now. I'm Suesha Sawant. Let's take a look at the top headlines at this hour. The Maharashtra state notifies draft RERA rules, and here's the catch. Money collected by developers in ongoing projects need not be deposited in the escrow account. Magic Bricks Now tells you what this means for you as a home buyer. 3 days after the gruesome rape and murder of a 24-year-old physiotherapist in Mumbai, the police are still groping in the dark, have no leads, made no arrests after questioning almost 80 people in this case. The demonetization drive fails the critical 30-day test. That's the word coming in from citizens and traders across India. People run out of patience, ask the centre when will things return to normal.
For demonstration, you can choose any other places. But for God's sake, do your job. You are meant to transact business.
And as politics over demonetization continues to disrupt Parliament, President Pranab Mukherjee comes down heavily on the opposition, says disruption of Parliament proceedings is unacceptable. And on to our top story, it's the government's big push to digitization. And this comes in after Finance Minister Arun Jaitley spoke 1 month after the PM announced a crackdown on cash. The Finance Minister Arun Jaitley announced a slew of measures that will incentivize people to go digital. The key announcements that were made include that there'll be a 0.75% discount on digital payments for petrol and diesel. Also, for a rail pass, there'll be a 0.5% discount on digital payments. And if you buy a ticket online, you also get a free 10 lakh rupee accident cover. There'll be a 5% discount on booking rail facilities, which include online rail facilities like retiring room, etc. There'll be a 10% discount on general insurance premium and an 8% discount on life insurance premium, which will be valid only for public insurance companies. Also, there'll be fast tags online and you get a 10% discount at tolls. The government will also deploy the Financial Inclusion Fund to ensure a larger network of POS machines, that's point of sale machines. And for now, the government is targeting installation of 2 POS machines in 1 lakh villages, POS being point of sale. And as the government's decision to demonetize 500 and 1,000 rupee notes completes 30 days, Prime Minister Modi took to Twitter to thank the country and reassert the importance of demonetization. PM Modi posted a series of tweets in which he writes, and I quote, "I always said that the government's measure will bring in a degree of inconvenience, but this short-term pain will pave way for long-term gains. Also, I salute the people of India for wholeheartedly participating in this ongoing yagna against corruption, terrorism and black money. The government's decision has several gains for farmers, traders, labourers who are the economic backbone of our nation. No longer will the progress and prosperity of rural India be curtailed by corruption and black money. Our villages must get their due. We also have a historic opportunity to embrace increased cashless payments and integrate latest technology in economic transactions." And while PM Modi thanked India, the opposition observed a black day in Parliament on Thursday, wearing black bands as a mark of protest. Opposition leaders gathered at Gandhi statue and decided to stage a silent protest. Meanwhile, the winter chill continued in the parliament while the government asked the opposition to have a debate on the issue rather than disrupting proceedings. A united opposition demanded Prime Minister Narendra Modi's presence in the parliament to talk about the distress faced by people in the country. Thursday also saw the president step in and take parliamentarians to task. Mincing no words, he sternly asked MPs to do their jobs. Listen in.
That my teacher taught me 3 Ds are essential in democracy. And those 3 Ds are debate, dissension and decision. But there was no 4th D, at least my teacher did not tell me that there is a 4th D, that is disruption. Disruption is totally unacceptable in the parliamentary system. People send the representatives to speak, not to sit in dharna or not to create any trouble on the floor. For that, streets are still available. Only few weeks in a year parliaments are in session. For demonstration, you can choose any other places. But for God's sake, do your job. You are meant to transact business. You are meant to devote your time for exercising the authorities of the members, particularly of Lok Sabha members, over money and finance.
And as the politicking continues, how are the people all over the country coping with the government's shocker? 1 month down the line, have the queues at ATMs and banks shortened? How are traders coping? Our reporters get you the real stories of demonetization from across the country. Let's start with Chandigarh to check the prevailing situation at banks and ATMs.
1 month have passed on the demonetization policy. I'm right now in sector 26 Sabzi Mandi. Now you can see people are buying vegetables here. Some say they are facing problem because of cash, but there are a lot of people who are praising Narendra Modi. We'll talk to some of the customers who are here. मैम ये बताइए कि आपको जो कैश क्रंच है उसकी वजह से क्या मुश्किलें आ रही हैं?
अभी हमें तो मुश्किल नहीं आई है क्योंकि हम बाकी की जो चीज़ें हैं वो कार्ड पे लेते हैं। तो जो हमको मिल रहा था कैश, हम छोटी सी जगह से आ रहे हैं, वहाँ से हमको मिल गया, PNB से हमें मिल गया।
What about this vegetable vendors?
Vegetable vendors are not bothering us at all. They have the change and they are giving us the change back. So we don't have any problem there.
How do you see the policy of Narendra Modi?
I love it because, and I request Modi ji, and yesterday I was talking about it, and I said ki I would request Modi ji that please tell those bigger shops who have timber के furnitures और बड़े-बड़े showrooms, there they say कि जी कैश दे दो, अभी तो हमारा बिल नहीं बना, हमारे पास बिल नहीं है और वो लेना नहीं मांगते हैं, उनको बोलिए कि मशीन जल्दी से जल्दी, that time limitation has to be there for that. We want to request him कि उनको बोलिए बड़े-बड़े shoppers को कि मशीनें ज़रूर लगाएं. Like my sister is coming from Canada, she says इतनी corruption इंडिया में देख रहे हैं ना, उतनी कहीं नहीं है. And
मैं तो ये कहती हूँ जी जितना काला धन है ना वो सर्कुलेट ही नहीं हो रहा, तो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी जो मोदी जी कर रहे हैं, और मैं देख रही हूँ मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। पर कई जगह मैं शॉपिंग जाती हूँ तो वो मशीन कहते हैं हमारे पास है ही नहीं, मतलब तो दे डोंट हैव द मशीन, सो दे बिकॉज नहीं, लोग टैक्स नहीं देना मांगते हैं ना जी, वो कहेंगे जी थोड़ा हमको भी फायदा हो जाएगा। तो ये तो इसी से हमारा देश बहुत मतलब वो हो रहा है। मैं तो बहुत खुश हूँ जी कि दैट्स ऑल आई हैव।
We'll talk to some more people. आपने सब्जी खरीदी है, कैश की वजह से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई?
नहीं आई प्रॉब्लम। ये जो मोदी जी ने काले धन के लिए अभियान चलाया है, आई एम हैप्पी।
So, in the mixed words, some are saying that they're facing problems, but most of the people are saying the policy is right, but implementation, they have to stand in queues basically to get the cash.
Since 8th of November 2016, after currency ban happened, was announced by the Prime Minister, if something has been badly affected was these shops. But then shutting shops was not an option. Adopting new ways opened up new possibilities. Thus you see a Paytm sticker here. It's a small outlet here in one of the roadsides in Kolkata, but then they have adopted Paytm because losing customer was not a feasible option, but adopting new ways but definitely was. I will try and speak to the owner of this little shop, little counter. Mr. Das, how difficult was it to adopt new possibilities like Paytm? Was it easy initially?
नहीं, मैं यहाँ तो अभी तक जो हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई है। पेटीएम यूज़ करने से मुझे एक सुविधा हुई कि चेंज का जो प्रॉब्लम हमेशा रहता था कि मुझे अगर कोई 24 रुपीज़ खाया तो उसके 4 रुपये या 6 रुपये रिटर्न करना पड़ता, तो लोग अभी डायरेक्टली पेटीएम के द्वारा जो है 24 रुपये मेरे वॉलेट में ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं। मैं उसको बाद में जो है अपने बैंक में ट्रांसफ़र करके जो है वाइट का जो बात चल रहा है कि मतलब किसी तरह का ब्लैक मनी ना हो, तो इसलिए हम लोग भी उसके लिए सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं और सीधी रूप से मैं अपना व्यवसाय कर रहा हूँ। पहले के तुलना हमारा बिजनेस भी पहले के तुलना में भी बढ़ रहा है
ना? हाँ सर, एक चीज़ बताइए सर, जब ये अनाउंसमेंट हुआ लोगों को बहुत बड़ा एक झटका लगा और लोगों को लगा कि शायद उन लोग की जो व्यापारी है उन लोगों को लगा कि उनके बिजनेस बहुत ज़्यादा इफेक्टेड होंगे। आपको इनिशियली डर लगा था सर?
नहीं, मुझे भी थोड़ी सी डर लगी थी कि मेरा इफेक्ट भी मेरा बिजनेस थोड़ा सा डल होगा, और ये कारण भी डर भी अपनी जगह सही था क्योंकि लोगों के पास पैसा नहीं था, तो लोग खाने के लिए आ रहे थे, बोले थे सर कि मुझे खाना है, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है। बोला ठीक है, आपको मैं 2 दिन 4 दिन 5 दिन, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो भी खाने के लिए आ रहे हैं रेगुलरली लोकल लोग ऑफिसर्स यहाँ से मतलब 10-15 किलोमीटर दूर से ही आ रहे हैं खाना खाने के लिए हमारे शॉप में, और सब ऑफिसर रेसिडेंटल कोई भी नहीं आते खाने के लिए, तो उनको मालूम है यहाँ का खाना बहुत हाइजीनिक मिलता है और अच्छा फ्रेश फूड मिलता है, क्योंकि हमारा सुबह मॉर्निंग 8 बजे हम चालू करते हैं और शाम 5:30 बजे बंद कर देते हैं।
तो उसके बाद जब आप पेटीएम के आइडिया कि आपके दिमाग में पहले से था और कोई आपको बताया?
नहीं, मेरे दिमाग में बहुत पहले से ही था, तो मैं उस समय लगाया नहीं था, लेकिन जब देख रहे कैश के लेकर किल्लत जब हो रही है तो मुझे लगा कि नहीं, कस्टमर को थोड़ा सेटिस्फेक्शन देना चाहिए और उनको सुविधा देना चाहिए, तो मैंने कैश का ये लगाया। और मतलब कुछ बैंकों से मैं भी बातचीत चला हूँ स्वीपिंग कार्ड के द्वारा कि स्वीप के द्वारा भी अगर काज हो तो बैंक बोल रहा है ठीक है मैं देख रहा हूँ, अगर चार्ज कम होता है तो मैं भी स्वीपिंग मशीन का कोशिश करूँगा, क्योंकि हम लोग के पास तो लाइसेंस नहीं है, तो मैं गवर्नमेंट से भी अप्लाई करता हूँ कि हम लोग को लाइसेंस ताकि मैं कैशलेस का जो सुविधा है हम लोग भी दे सके और कस्टमर भी हमारे द्वारा जो है उस सुविधा का लाभ उठा सके।
सर एक चीज़ बताइए सर, ये जो नया टेक्नोलॉजीज है सर, बहुत सारे लोग जो ऐसे रोड साइड में काउंटर्स रखे चला रहे हैं, वो लोग कह रहे हैं कि हम लोग उतना शिक्षित नहीं है कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट कर पाए। आपको ऐसी कोई दिक्कत हुई सर, पेटीएम हो या फिर आप जो कार्ड स्वैप मशीन के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, ये सब जो आइडियाज़ है, इन आइडियाज़ के बारे में सोचने में कोई दिक्कत हुई आपको?
नहीं, हमको नहीं, हमारे जो कलकत्ता में जो है हॉकर संग्राम कमेटी, वो हमारा संगठन है, हम लोग को इसके बारे में खूब जानकारी देती है, फूड कैसे रखना है। और अभी टीवी मैगजीन पेपर में मतलब वॉलेट के द्वारा और मीडिया इतना ज़्यादा आप लोग के द्वारा ही मीडिया इतना द्वारा जो है स्वचालित है कि आपको हर कोई टीवी मैगजीन सब पढ़ता है, तो हमको नहीं लग रहा कि किसी को दिक्कत हुई। हाँ, दिक्कत जो थोड़ा कम पढ़े लिखे हैं उन लोग को हो रहा है, तो उसके द्वारा हम लोग एक कैंपिंग कोशिश करना है। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ और मैं खुश हूँ।
So the initiative taken by the Prime Minister to go cashless and possibly put a cap on the culture of black money and also culture of corruption has been supported by people like Mr. Dash, who is running his business as usual. He is saying yes, initial hiccups were there, the initial doubts were there, concerns were there, but then to deal with the concern is also their prerogative and they have dealt with it.
Moving on to our debate story. No arrests and no leads. This is 48 hours after the Mumbai police started investigating the gruesome murder and rape of a 24-year-old physiotherapist in Mumbai's Vile Parle area. Disha Shah gets us the latest on this case.
Yes, absolutely no arrest has been made yet in connection with the murder and rape of 24-year-old physiotherapist who was brutally murdered, raped and then burned to death on early Tuesday morning at her Vilepale residence here in Mumbai. In fact, it's been more than 48 hours and no arrest, no lead, no clue that police officials have been able to find out. In fact, what they also told us that they have investigated, questioned so far 150 people, including her family, her relatives, her friends, her classmates, but they have not got any clue or lead which can prove that who has committed the crime. In fact, what they also tell us is that the case had the police had registered a case against an unknown person under the sections 302 and 376, which is rape and murder, and even after 48 hours the case still remains the same. The case is still against an unknown person. They have not been able to identify who has committed the crime. Lastly, what they also tell us is that they have set up in all 8 teams, 8 police teams have been set up who are investigating and tracking only this particular case. So however what they tell us is that they will be able to find the culprit very soon. This is Disha Shah reporting here from Magic Bricks Now.
Meanwhile, Mumbai is fast losing its tag of being a city where its women felt safe. In fact, women college students in Mumbai tell us they feel unsafe everywhere, including their homes.
I'm at Bidhibai College right now in Mumbai, where I have a bunch of students with me, females, some of them living in Bombay with their parents, some of them who are from outside of Bombay and have come here to study, traveled independently. Question being, how safe do they really feel?
I am particularly an outstation student, so my parents are really insecure about me living over here. Sometimes they call me around 9 or 10 p.m. I have talked to them just last hour, and they wanted to check if I am at my place or not.
Do you feel safe, and do you feel safe while you're traveling in the night?
I travel by train, and when we're traveling by train, we come at 6:30 in the morning to travel. And at that time, there have been a lot of incidents where people have been following us, and it's not really safe to travel alone by train. We say Mumbai is safe, but it's not.
No place is safe because today you cannot trust anyone. Every time you go somewhere, you trust someone. That fears there in the back of your head that if I trust them too much, something's going to happen. If I go here at this time, something's going to happen. If I'm traveling by train right now, I need a guy with me, or then something's going to happen. I've seen people outright staring at me, and you stare back at them to get them to notice that I've seen them looking at me, and they'll still stare back and smile, thinking I'm giving them some sort of signal, whereas I'm trying to tell them that please do not look at me. It's not nice to be looked at that way, in such a dirty way.
Within your own house, you're always, you probably might have a stepbrother, a stepfather, who have any relation, not even a step relation, maybe your uncle or anybody who is molesting you or raping you, so it's not safe even at home. So the mentality of the men has to change. It's not that if you're with your family or outside, it's different. It's just that it can be same both ways too.
How do you feel when you're told that you should not dress a certain way, or you should not put out pictures, or how you should behave on social media?
It's very bad because it's my life. No one can set rules on me. I can live however I want. But due to this society, I have to act that way. Parents tell, please don't wear this, you don't wear this.
If you're going to treat us as toys, then you cannot expect us to grow. You cannot expect women empowerment if you don't let us go to that stage. If you don't let us be independent, you can't expect us to bring a change in the society.
She was not out on the street. It was not about what she was wearing. It was not about where she was or who she was with or what she was doing. This young girl went to work, came home, and she was in her bedroom. There is absolutely no dignity left for women in our cities.
It is men and boys who have to change. It is the people they have to be arrested. They have to be put behind the bar.
Unfortunately, Faye, the crime against women is not the topmost priority of many of the investigating agencies, and I dare say that of the Mumbai police.
As a woman, it is inconvenient that every time I step out of my house, I have to account for who's going to touch me, who's going to molest me, who's going to stare at me, who's going to heckle me, that homes are not safe, that cases of child sexual abuse are at an all-time high in India, that underreporting of sexual offences is a huge offence.
हर टाइम अगर किसी का रेप होता है तो क्यों लड़की को ही ब्लेम किया जाता है हर टाइम कि लड़की की गलती है, लड़की छोटे कपड़े पहनती है, लड़की बाहर जाती है, रात को नाइट आउट करती है, क्यों?
When a woman comes to register a complaint, they must immediately register a complaint. Don't counsel the women. They are supposed to lodge complaints, not become counselors.
Hitesh Jain, I'm providing you with this platform right now to please communicate with the citizens of the state on the steps being taken by the government.
Through your channels or the people who are like the young girls like Krisha or Ranjana Kumari ji, they can come that these are the steps we want within the 72 hours, and I can assure you on behalf of the government, we will take this issue with the police department and ensure such steps will be taken.
We need action right now. We need fast track courts to actually be fast track courts. We need policemen and doctors and hospitals that will take this crime seriously.
Are you watching The Urban Debate? Only on Magic Bricks Now.
Also in the news, further development in the Orbit case. The Mumbai Magistrate Court has refused to grant bail to Pujit Agarwal, who is the CEO and MD of Orbit Developers. The court observed that if granted bail, Agarwal will tamper with the investigation. Agarwal had recently filed bail plea in 2 cases. The first case was worth 2.55 crore rupees, registered with Azad Maidan Police Station, while the second FIR was registered with the Economic Offences Wing on a complaint filed by Capri Global Advisory Services, a case of cheating which was worth 52 crore rupees. Now remember, Orbit Corp MD Pujit Agarwal was arrested on the 8th of September on the complaint of Ashok Agarwal, who is the Senior Vice President of Capri Global Capital Limited. The Azad Maidan police had booked the builder as he failed to hand over possession of a property bought by Ashok Agarwal. After the first case registered with Azad Maidan Police Station, the developer was arrested in other cases. Now, Pujit alleged that both the cases were purely business transactions and investigation in both the cases is over. It was contended that the police had already seized records and examined accounts and agreements. Hence, he deserves to be released on bail. The prosecution, however, objected the bail plea. The prosecution argued that the case is an economic offence and accused may hamper the process of investigation if released on bail. The Additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrate A.P. Kulkarni considered the apprehension of prosecution and rejected the bail plea. And moving on to Delhi, dense fog and a nip in the air greeted Delhi, NCR and most of the northern India on Thursday morning. With visibility dropping to 150 meters, most of the trains and flights have been badly affected. As many as 100 trains are running late, while 41 trains had to be rescheduled. Similarly, flights were also badly hit. Over 6 international and 7 domestic flights got delayed, while 1 domestic flight had to be cancelled. Deepa Rana checked the weather conditions in Delhi on Thursday morning, and here's a report.
I'm standing on the D&D flyway, and as you see, fog is seen all across the Delhi NCR region. In fact, I'll just ask my camera person to pan and show you. Over here also, right now, even a lot of cars and buses are driving really slow due to dense fog. A lot of school children and people are reaching their schools as well as offices late due to dense fog. We also spoke to the commuters over here who tell us that they're finding it really difficult to reach their destinations in time. Fog takes a lot of time to dissipate all throughout the day. In fact, in the morning and in the evening, it's very difficult for the people to travel from one place to another because of fog. And in fact, the temperature has also dropped. The visibility has currently is over 100 to 200 meters. In fact, we spoke to the authorities in the railways as well as airport authorities also, who told us that on Wednesday over 30 trains were delayed and a lot of trains were cancelled as well. Over 10 trains were cancelled, and even today a lot of trains and flights have been delayed due to dense fog. This is Deepa Rana for Magic Bricks Now in New Delhi.
The fog is quite dense. It is a story of every year, and we are used to it.
Wasn't that bad. I mean, you can see 100 to 200 meters, so it's pretty okay.
I don't think it's much issue, but certainly the fog is too much.
With that, we come to the end of this bulletin. While we leave you with our pollution tracker, for more news and updates, stay tuned to Magic Bricks Now.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.